I love that. I love that sound effect.
They need to have one of those specials of how they shoot that, because I'm willing to bet it's a lot of interesting breaking melons on the ground, slapping big slabs of beef back and forth. Like, playing with utensils.
That's like the old school, John.
No, that's what they do still.
They still do that? To make it sound real, huh?
Oh, so you think they really stab people to death?
No, I thought...
All right, you need to die
like
for us to get that real sound effect.
Not like that. Like the technology now, right?
No,
Computers.
Sounds are
stuff.
one of the most hard things to try to recreate computer. You're always better off trying to create a real sound. Maybe tweak a little bit in post. Like if it's a monster sound or a dinosaur. But real sounds like this, they're all from some sort of special, not even special effects. It's just real effects in a studio. Someone just smashing stuff and clinging metal together.
I've tried doing that when I was probably in high school.
They still do that. It's a very low-tech method of production process. That's just the way it works. So congratulations to the sound crunchy guy, because very crunchy.
It's very effective.
What's up, y'all? It's John Masterly of Baltimore.
And Lulu of Davao.
And today we're going to be checking out a video of Geralt of Rivia. For whatever reason, John Masterly of Baltimore doesn't sound as cool. But
mine too.
Yeah, yours sounds even worse. All right, this is the best fight scene from the Witcher series on Netflix. That sword fight scene from the very first episode. Finally posted up a behind-the-scenes shot by shot, this time of Henry Cavill talking about this scene. We saw Yennefer do something similar with her scene from this Witcher series, and it was really cool.
We had Alex, the director, shout 1, 2, 3, 4, and we just had to look at these knives coming through the carriage. That's actually really hard to get the timing.
But she wasn't really all that clued in terms of what was going on. He was like, I just sat there and just watched whatever's going on. But Harry Cavill is going to go deep, because this dude is in love with this universe. Like, he waxes poetry and insight into this, and you could tell he's a big fan. So I'm really curious to see what kind of a breakdown he provides here. So let's check this out. By the way, we get a whole bunch of Witcher reactions as well. So make sure you stay to the end. You can check out the playlist. Absolutely worthwhile if you like the games or if you love the Netflix series. And if you haven't played the games or if you haven't watched the series, what are you doing watching our video? Go watch it. No, watch our video first and then go play or watch, because it's probably some of the best fantasy stuff that's like out there.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to regret your time sitting on that couch.
Regret it. Although it's kind of dense. You might get a little bit lost in playing the games or actually even follow Netflix series. The plot lines can be a little bit all over the place, but it's worthwhile sticking through it just because the acting is amazing. The storyline, the characters are just so amazing. Everything's amazing.
All right,
let's check this out, y'all. And away we go.
Hello, I'm Henry Cavill, and I'm going to break down a scene from the show The Witcher shot by shot.
Oh, God, he's so handsome, baby. So handsome.
Yeah.
Where's Renfrey? She's at the tower with your little friend.
Right here, Geralt has entered Blaviken looking for someone called Renfrey, or Shrike, as you may know her from the books, if you're a fan of the books. Her gang has been laying in wait for me.
Ooh, that sound.
This shot was designed by Wolfgang Stegemann, a stunt coordinator and a fight coordinator.
Such an awesome thing. Ooh.
What makes a Witcher and Geralt very, very special is the ability to deflect an arrow in mid-flight, or in this case, a crossbow bolt. We wanted to make it unique in a way, and Wolfgang's idea of the camera circle round the crossbowman allows the audience to feel that moment like the bolt was truly going to hit him.
That's the
performer's sword blow with nothing. Essentially, we often use cut-off swords for particularly complex or technical pieces or pieces which are really very, very dangerous. This sword is actually
Well, you think he actually stuck a sword through his face?
A lot more moves to be done, which involve blood and gore. The difficulty is we all have to perform like the sword is full length rather than half length. When you're moving at full speed and your adrenaline's up and you're doing take after take after take, sometimes that can be tricky.
Did you hear all that bone and flesh being cut?
so the cameraman cannot see where he is going, apart from through memory, and with someone, a guiding hand behind him so he doesn't run into a wall and injure himself. And also he has to stay out of the way of all of us. If you can see in this particular freeze frame, if that stuntman doesn't move in the perfect way, the operator gets a wooden pole in the eye. It's all done in one take. There was another option which we had, which was a different cut where we shot different angles at different times, and that's slightly easier to shoot. You can do 3 or 4 movements in a segment and then you stop. The problem with a one-shot scene is that if any bit slows down or anything doesn't work perfectly, it ruins the whole scene. And so you have to keep on going back and doing it again and again and again until you get it right. There's no time for mistakes. There's no space for mistakes. Even here, this is still a cut-off sword. Because we did this all in one shot, the sword had to be cut off throughout. It's not just as simple as shooting someone moving around. There's so many different moving parts. Even if I did my performance perfect every time and I remembered every single move and every single move looked real, the camera may have been in a slightly different position, or one of the stuntmen may have moved slightly off his mark or to the left, to the right, and so a strike looks like it misses or it doesn't work. Now that Geralt has walked through all these men, Renfrey comes back into town with Geralt's young friend Marilka, and that was essentially her family, and so she decides to go to town and try and take Geralt out.
The best.
If we cross swords,
I won't be able to stop.
Emma Appleton, who plays Renfrey, trained relentlessly. She trained for the full, I believe it was 3 or 4 weeks. She was in there every day for hours on end.
Whoa,
What the
4 weeks
hell?
just for like 30 seconds of fighting?
Training with her team, there was only so much one can do to actually build up to a fight which was this technical. And so I had the great fortune of working with probably the best stunt performer I've ever actually performed with, and that was Lucy Cork.
She didn't even perform the whole fight.
Her viper-like actions were exactly what Shrike or Renfrey is described like in the books. Our strikes were exact, or at least looked exact. We were moving less than an inch away from each other's heads. She had to move just enough, and I had to make sure that I was close enough. So if I was making a downward strike, I have to redirect my sword so it does end up being less than an inch away from her head when it misses. It's a true dance and requires a lot of patience
It's
and
a lot
skill.
harder than I thought.
They created me just as they created you. We're not so different.
Wolfgang and I really wanted
the
to
sound
make
effects
sure
are so
that
crunchy
the story was
in this
told through the fight. It's not
series.
just a random fight of people swinging swords at each other. These are two people in a dance, and through that dance, a story is told. Renfrey was very much the aggressor,
I like that.
and
Sort of dance.
It's just like the way he says it.
No, sort of dance, and the story is being told.
Geralt is on the
But they
defensive right up until
Act here.
within 4 moves, she is completely defeated, and then Geralt stands back and gives her the space. He allows her one last chance. Walk away from Blaviken, forget, and you won't be a monster. And instead...
So sad.
Best!
As much as he hates the idea of it, he's not going to lose his own life in the process of someone who's determined to die.
She has such a sad story.
I hope you enjoyed. I hope it wasn't too detailed. I tend to get a little excited about these things, but you can see it
You can
for
tell.
real
You
with
can
the
tell,
rest
like
of the
he's
story
very
on The Witcher on Netflix.
enthusiast. Is that what it is, John?
Enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic about
Yeah,
it.
he
Telling
totally
the
is.
story.
I'm really glad they
And-
got him to play The Witcher, the main character. Not to say that there's anything wrong with the actresses that play Ciri and Yennefer, but you could tell they know nothing about the series. They they're there to play the role. They learned about it as they were going along. And in interviews, it very much comes across that way. But when you see him talk about The
very
Witcher,
passionate about
this
the
dude
story,
is
about everything.
yeah,
every
like
detail.
he played the game, he knows the detail, he knows the books, and he goes out his way to learn everything about it while he's filming. Like this is like a dream come true scenario. And he talks about how like he had his agent just call, like, I want this role, I want this role, I want this role.
No way.
Yeah, he went after it hard, and luckily, he looks enough like The Witcher to pull off.
Yeah,
because if he looked like me,
oh no,
he was like, no matter how much you play the games, like John, I know you play the games, I know you know everything about it, but no, doesn't matter if you read the books, John. You don't quite look the role.
He knows from his gut that this is for him.
Yeah. There comes a time where just being relentless, going after what you love, no matter what it takes, is worthwhile. Because I'm willing to bet there's probably 5 or 6 other actors who knew this was happening too and were going, I want this role, I want this role, I want this role as well. And it didn't happen, right? So it doesn't work for everybody, but I'm really glad that those who feel like they have to and go after it, do it. Because otherwise, who knows who would be playing this character. So cool. All right.